of us, and we need to work things through together.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Mr. Hayes, how was the talks today at the Millennium with the members of Parliament and ministers?
They were very useful. Excellent talks. We had a very frank exchange of views, and were able to listen to the views of your members of Parliament, and productive. For the last 2.5 years, we've been reviewing New Zealand's relationships with Pacific countries, and we've been talking to many people in New Zealand, many communities, inviting lots of submissions. More recently, we've been visiting Pacific communities in Wellington, Auckland and Christchurch and listening to what various Pacific communities say. And when we talk in Pacific, I'm really talking in a collective sense, and I do recognise differences between members of the extended family, Tokelau, Niue, Cook Islands, or Tongans, Samoans, Vanuatuans, other Pacific people living in New Zealand. So we've been having a chat with those communities, and we've begun to formalise some of our thinking, and we'll be reporting back to our Parliament towards the end of this year. So we wanted to come with the Prime Minister mainly to sit down with parliamentarians in Tonga and Samoa, which we've done, and this morning we've done here in Niue, to discuss some of our thinking. And for example, one of the issues we've been thinking about is trying to improve the level of communication between the leaders, the parliamentary leaders in the Pacific. And so we've been thinking about setting aside a week of our Parliament once a year, bringing, say, 30 or 40 Pacific parliamentarians to New Zealand and sitting down with our Parliament talking about issues and getting to know each other, because it's those parliamentarians that are going to be working into the future. There are some things in our wider family, and I regard Niue as part of the family because all of us are New Zealand citizens, that are of some concern. We're very concerned that the policies being followed by the New Zealand and the Niue governments are not stemming the outflow of people from Niue. And so we're really quite concerned to address what those problems are. And when we as parliamentarians in New Zealand represent electorates, we are responsible to the people that vote us into Parliament for the good stewardship of their taxes. And so we've got some concerns that the amount of money per capita being spent here is very high, and we're concerned with some stewardship issues around that, and we want to look forward and think about what steps can we be taking to improve the level of dialogue, for example, between Niueans here and Niueans in New Zealand. For example, encouraging entrepreneurial activity, and as I understand, if some people here want to advance a business arrangement, only one person in New Zealand might need to say no and nothing happens. So we'd like to see some movement forward on that. We think that when you get down to maybe 1,000 people, is that really a sustainable country? Is the model working? Because we have many schools in New Zealand that have more than 1,000 people. And when we look at the numbers of members of Parliament, say there's 20, is that too many for 1,000 people? I mean, I represent over 60,000 people in my electorate. So when we're looking at value for money for the expenditure of our support for Niue, we're looking at some of those sort of questions, and there's some of the issues that are being considered by our select committee.
So now, some of those concerns and issues that you have discussed, now you made a statement to, I guess, a Niuean group in New Zealand about the aid that New Zealand has been giving to Niue, to half that aid for the community, for the Niueans in New Zealand, and half for Niue. Do you think that's fair?
No, I don't think I said that at all. What I said was that that the amount of per capita that we're giving to Niue is around about $20,000 per person in Niue. Now, I live in a village of 2,000 people. It's called Greytown in New Zealand. If I could give every family $80,000, I'd be a politician for life.
But I guess our conditions are much...
Very, very, it's a lot of money. And so one of the things we're also concerned about is that our aid perhaps has led to too much growth in the public service, and not enough in the private sector. It's the private sector that provides jobs. So we're thinking about maybe taking some of our aid money, or recommending taking some of our aid money, and shifting it around the public sector through the banking system to give it direct to Pacific entrepreneurs, to Pacific Island entrepreneurs with good business programs on commercial terms.
Even if you don't get there, you'll be up there in the stars. But to do that, you need the people around you.
Well, you know, it's I suppose you have your own challenges on the island, but I think the thing is we've shown that even in a smaller island like the Frank Bunces of this world and Purui, that you guys can achieve all these things. But it comes down to belief and a real heart of dedication,
going back to the
to be able to be committed to the cause. We're very honoured to come here, and if only one person comes out of Niue that goes all the way to the top of the world in their sports, or whatever. I think the message we're trying to tell our people is that even though we're small, but we can still have a huge impact on world today. So we're very honoured to be here.
Any chance of helping out the Niuean team with their rugby? And they played in the Oceania Cup and lost to Cook Islands. Are you willing to give them a chance to help them out?
Definitely. We're too small to be competing in those areas. So yeah, Lauri, Michael Jones and myself would love to be able to come in and support, whether it's here or over back in New Zealand. We've got a beautiful Niuean community, and they're very supportive, and they love their rugby. So I'll be more than happy to give my time to be able to come and support and help out in coaching.
So they stole it in the end.
It doesn't matter if you've left school now. You just got to keep working hard. If you talk to Inga or myself, even though we're from the Pacific, we can still achieve our dreams. And when I look at, again, these young men and women, there's no reason why they can't be like Inga. And whether it's in sport, but I mean, education is so important. I still believe that, we have to keep at school as long as we can. But for those of our young people and the youth of Niue have left school, I still believe that, that you can still make the most of your life, and that there's still potential. Never give up. I think each and every one of our young people have been gifted. I think God's created them with the gift. They're all unique, and I think what's important for us as young Pacific people is to grab onto a dream, hold on to it, be prepared to work hard, and God's gift to us is our potential. Our gift back to God is what we do with that potential.
And lastly, what about rugby? Now, are you willing to give Niue a chance, or the Niue team a chance, the national team? Give them a few hints, I guess, because they lost against the Cook Islands just last week.
Well, I'd love to. I've been following the local, Niue, Cook Islands rugby closely. I mean, I'd love to come back. I feel I should come back and spend some time with the rugby boys. It's something I can give, and it's something I can offer. So maybe one day I can come back and spend some time with them, and I'll try and bring Inga to look after the backs, and I'll spend some time with the forwards. How's that? Okay, for going, thank you.
You'll have a chance to receive autographs and signatures from our visitors. But please free up this time so that they may preview a demonstration of the Sika.